So now that we have learned not only what our circle is going to do, but also more about how we can really hold our roles um, and really be the best at the roles of coordinator and facilitator and logistics and messenger. Um, I also want to, we need a support circle. Our village needs a support circle. So as we've been emphasizing throughout this whole training, roles are primarily about support. And the entire structure of circles and circles making up villages is about figuring out the best structures to support all of us to organize. So this community needs 3 to 4 people from the circles who are willing to take on a secondary role as part of a support circle. And the support circle, similarly like all of your circles, are going to be comprised also of a coordinator, a messenger, a facilitator, and a logistics role. But now, instead of just working at the circle level, they will also be this will also be serving a community role. Um, so the community coordinator is the most important role in this circle. And it's really crucial to have at least a community coordinator. So the community coordinator forms part of this support circle. And again, the support circle is drawn from 3 or 4 of you guys who are already in circles. So the community coordinator checks in with the coordinators of each of the circles to hold each circle accountable to their function within the village and provide any support that the circles might need. So that's the community coordinator. The community facilitator will help facilitate community meetings. So circles will be meeting weekly, and then all of the circles together as a community will be meeting either monthly or bi-monthly. And the community facilitator will plan the agenda and facilitate those meetings. And they can pull support from the circle facilitators to think about the agendas and what kind of decisions need to be made at those community meetings. The community logistics person will provide support to each of the circle logistic folks to ensure that all of the circles have all of their logistical needs taken care of. And community logistics will also bottom line any logistical needs for the community meetings. So just again, when we say bottom line, it doesn't mean that that person has to do everything, but that person, if it's too much for that person to do, then he or she would need to draw support from other people to get all the logistical needs done for those meetings. And the community messenger will make sure that communication between the circles in the village through the circle messengers is happening smoothly, and the community messenger will provide support to any circle messengers that might need help in any way. And the community messenger will also communicate to other communities across the region and country. So when we have regional phone calls or national phone calls, the community messenger will be representing the community. And I also just want to say that for this purpose, we are interchanging community and village because we are talking about all the circles together being a village. Officially, a village only becomes a village when you have 150 people. So we might not be there yet, but we are working towards becoming a village. So right now, we're officially forming a community, but right now we're also using the term village and community interchangeably. So what 3 or 4 people from the circles are willing to take on another role as part of the support circle? All right, trainers, so that is the module from start to finish. And this module is very dynamic in general because you have people forming circles and making decisions with circles. You have breakout sessions as part of their roles, so when all the coordinators and logistical folks are getting together in their roles. So there's a lot going on, and it's a lot of explaining the structure of Cosecha and then having people actually work within that structure. So facilitators need to be timely and make sure that the group really stays on time, and really be able to kind of coordinate the whole structure of this module. So I would say that I think the most difficult parts are really helping the group decide what circles are needed to either do a training or a small action, and who should be a part of which group. And then also making sure that people are coming back together to the group and reporting back on a timely way. But I think something that could help is to think beforehand about how many people you might have at the training, and which then becomes the village, and what circles are a priority. So just kind of thinking that out beforehand. Okay, if we think after this training, the village is really ready for a small action, and so these are really the circles that we should be thinking of to try to get people into, so that that process can go a little bit more smoothly. And it might be that people are shy to join a circle or aren't really sure which one to join. This is kind of the first time that they're hearing about the circle structure. And I would just encourage them to try something out, whatever makes the most sense at the moment, and see how they feel. And people can always switch circles. Roles and circles are always flexible. And I think this part can be confusing for folks, again, because this is the first time that they're hearing about the structure of circles in villages and communities, and it's not a structure that we're used to working within for these trainings. So just try to be as clear and concise and kind of simple as possible in language, and make things kind of as smooth as possible, and also tell people that as we go along, the structure will become clear. The other thing that's really important is that it has been helpful for when the circles break out for the first time and people are choosing their roles and they're making their purpose statements. It can be a good idea to have a trainer in each circle to support them in those 4 things that the circle needs to decide. Again, because this is the first time that people are working within circles. So it's helpful to have, for each circle, to have the support of a trainer. And when preparing for this module, as always, first, read through the trainer's notes, go through the PowerPoint, listen to this video. You can listen to it, more than once, a couple times, to get kind of really familiar with the flow of the module. And then as facilitator, I would run through the module at least 2 to 3 times, even before you have the training for trainers. And then before the actual training, make sure that you have all the butcher papers that are necessary to put up in front of the group for the training. And the trainer's notes has a list of all of the butcher papers that are needed. And when we talk about butcher papers, we're just referring to large papers that the trainers can put up on the wall, where you can write key concepts for the participants or kind of key definitions. And these papers are really helpful because they're visual reference points for folks for these new ideas and concepts that we're presenting throughout the module. So again, I hope this was helpful, and good luck with setting up your villages.